I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. My head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way 1,000.
Hey everybody, it's Sidekick Kids Action Reviews. We are back in with another video, and guys, today was episode 5 of Stargirl. This is a little bit later than we usually post this video, I think, because I had a whole bunch of other videos I had to catch up on with Matrix teaser being released, so I had to get those done with. So it's right now it's 10:39. So we're doing this video now. We just got done with the episode. I thought it was a great episode. We're really building up on the fact of we are really getting into the threat of Calypso, or Eclipso, literally. We're getting into more of that threat level. We're feeling it more, and we're seeing the threat level more.
I think it was kind of cool how he, Eclipso took over Mr.
I forget the teacher's name. All I know is that's their teacher.
Mr. something.
Yeah, you guys could say it down in the comments below. I forget the teacher's name, but that was a holy crap moment.
I think it was.
What's his name?
Mr. Singerdice.
Singerdice?
Yeah.
All right. Well, either or, him getting taken over, that was a pretty meaning I thought he was dead. A part of me, I don't know.
He might be.
I don't know.
After that.
Yeah, I mean he's in a psychiatric facility now because he got taken over, and he said his muse is gone, and he had to reach for the light, meaning that this is no joke. I think even, and it goes to show us that this isn't a joke even more of how much of a threat Eclipso is, because Shade wants to take, as far as we know, from what he's telling Courtney, but he didn't tell, I guess what he's telling, in a way, Barb, is that he wants to get Eclipso and put him in the darkest hole ever because he's bored, essentially, for all the years he's been alive, and he wants to do this. There's no explanation on really why he wants to take out Eclipso, but all we know is what he's saying is because he's bored now and he's been living forever and he wants to do this. We don't really know why exactly. If he has a bigger agenda, maybe he wants to keep the diamond. He's just lying to get Courtney out of the way, saying, "Oh, I'm trying to do this to get rid of him because he's bad news." But I'm just thinking, what's the bigger agenda here? What is his? Is he telling the truth? He wants to actually help. Or is he lying? Is there a bigger agenda to what he is doing? Also, what is Pat and Barb hiding from Courtney and Mike and the entire team? What is it?
I want to not have Barb and Pat for a second.
Okay.
I think it was cool how when Mr. Singerdice was thinking about Eclipse, he was getting to best mind.
Yeah, he was getting the best.
About her family falling apart.
When she was trying to put the pictures back together. I can fix this. Dude, that was hard to watch. Her eyes were
yeah.
You could tell he's really getting in their heads.
Rick, he was reliving his parents' death with Grundy.
Yeah, with Grundy, and that was messed up when he said, when Eclipso in his head saying, "Oh, you think he's the monster? What about you?"
Yeah.
That was such a, oh my, he's really, I love how, when we saw Eclipse, seeing them, being taken over, we saw, how, when Singerdice, if that's his name, have, how he was, all the paint colors mixed together.
Yeah.
Did you see, the paint colors were in Beth's eyes?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm afraid Mike's gonna get, if Mike is not willing to go, over, I have a bad feeling that Eclipso is gonna take over him.
And then
I think that's what's gonna happen.
I don't know if it was I don't know if Eclipse took over, it was in Ileana's brain, because Ileana can hear brainwave.
No, he's just he was just again, what Pat said, he can make people see what's not there. He can mess with people's minds. I don't think he's really getting, I don't know. In a way, I feel like he kind of was, because he was we saw Beth's eyes. I didn't see Rick's eyes. I didn't see Yolanda's eyes, but it looked like for Beth especially, we saw her eyes like that. So I don't know.
She had her goggles on.
But she took them off. She just had her eyes like that. So I'm thinking, I don't know if it didn't look like Yolanda and Rick had it, but they might have. But all I know is that really seeing them being taken over, and the only one that wasn't taken over was Courtney. She was so focused on taking that thing out.
I don't think Courtney, Yolanda can hear brainwave even when Eclipse's not around. She can
I know, but I feel like
hear him no matter.
True. That is true. But I don't know if Eclipso had, maybe, I feel but he knew that she was having that feeling, so I feel like he he like took advantage of that because he knew that that's what she was feeling. She knew, unless, I don't know, I mean, you could be right, maybe, I don't think it was a day one thing, meaning Eclipso was doing this from day one, making her hear that stuff. I think that he knew that's what she was going through, that guilt, and that's what he turned that up to 11, and it said, okay, I know what your fear is, I know what's getting to you, I'm going to use this to attack you. And same with Rick, how everybody thinks he's like a loser, everybody thinks he's not smart, everybody thinks that sometimes he feels like he's the monster, and that's why he's... And, because think about what he felt about Grundy. He saw himself in Grundy in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that they're, like, you know what I mean? That they're outcast. They feel that he kind of feels like he's a monster in a sense. And that's why I feel like he's taking care of Grundy, because who else is that big creature that he's going to feed every day? Like, every 5 minutes he's going to go feed him. So you think
since he's, like, Grundy in a way, he's
seeing that himself. And he's like, he's thinking to himself... What Eclipso said, like, oh, you think he's the monster, what about you? About what you do and how you are and, like, how you're always angry and everything like that. I feel like he's really, like, attacking people in their inner like, weak, like, you know what I mean, fears and weaknesses and things that they see and their flawed, like, you know what I mean, like, how they feel like they're flawed. I feel like he's really attacking that sense, and it's like he's really good. He's a really good villain because he's attacking this. And what I love is that, but he couldn't do that to Courtney. Courtney was so focused on trying to get that thing, and they were the only ones getting whammied. I feel like there's more too. I feel like that's also saying something, that Courtney's so focused, and she is the light in a sense. She's the light in the darkness, and I feel like that's why maybe she couldn't get whammied, because she is the light that needs to defeat the darkness. I feel like that's what they're trying to, maybe that's what they could have been foreshadowing. That's why everybody else was getting taken out. But she's always so focused, and she is the light. She's Stargirl. She's the light. The only person that was able to really defeat, I think, Eclipso, they haven't really said it, but I'm thinking is Starman, because of the staff. So I'm thinking maybe they're not telling us, but Starman was the only one to really take out Eclipso, along with Starman was the only one able to really, like, what was it, like, take out Shade, really. You know what I mean? Like, it was the only one that really, like, to, like, take out Shade when he went up against Shade. So I feel like they're really honing in on dark versus light. And I really saw that in this episode. When she said, he's like, she's like, do you see the light? And he's like, I can feel it, or I can, you know what I mean? I can feel it. And he's like, okay. She's like, okay, touch it. And you remember how he touched the tip of the staff? Yeah. And, like, it was coming off of him, the darkness. It's like, I feel like they're really foreshadowing that. I feel like Eclipso, he's afraid of Courtney, I feel like, in a way, almost. Because he knows that the light. I have a feeling that might be the
Cameron's powers are coming in.
Yep.
He was painting a painting of Icicle.
Of his father, of Jordan.
Yeah, of Icicle. And all of a sudden he stops. And his hand froze, and then
he dropped the paint stick.
The paintbrush, and the paintbrush, like, froze.
Did you not? Okay, we gotta talk about that.
And his grandma also has powers.
Which I said to her, okay, because I was always wondering that back in season 1, was this just a power he got out of nowhere? Was this a power, like, maybe that his mother was born with first, or his father, or maybe they both had it? I don't know. I hope we get a little bit more of an explanation of how they got their abilities. I mean, I guess we know in a way. Does that mean that does Jordan's father have it too, or is it just the mom? I don't know. And I hope we get some information on how they got their abilities exactly. I kind of want to know. Maybe we'll get that in, like, a backstory episode on how they were able to get their abilities. That was a very interesting thing, because at that moment where, Cindy's scouting out to, like, recruit next Cameron, and the grandma comes out saying, "Stay away from my, grandson. Your father was a monster, so are you." And, like, she was about to, like, fight her, but then we saw the grandmother frost up. So I'm thinking, I was almost right about my theory, thinking, oh my god, because remember I told you in the last I think it was the last review we did, that I think Cindy's going to take out the grandparents to get to Cameron, or Eclipso is going to take over and take out the grandparents. I said something's going to happen where the grandparents get killed off. And then maybe she's going to say, oh, it was Courtney, or it was the Stargirl, or it was the JSA that killed your grandparents and killed Jordan. That's why, but really it was Cindy. And when he finds out probably at the end of this season that was actually Cindy that did, he's going to go after Cindy and maybe run away, Cameron, and maybe next season will be maybe Courtney, like, trying to find him or something. I don't know, something like that. I feel like maybe that could be a possible theory that's probably going to happen to get him into the Injustice, because he's definitely going to join at some point, maybe. If not through, like, her, killing off the grandparents and be like, oh, it was the JSA, it was Stargirl, and he finds out it's Courtney, and blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking maybe the grandparents are going to tell him, and he's going to want to take over and go after the JSA. But I feel like the grandparents don't want him to have anything involved with the Injustice Society, because the grandparents know that they got beaten and it's bad news, and they don't want their grandson to die. I don't know, but all I know is it's very, very interesting.
Because their son died.
Exactly, because it's like goes to show that, like, I'm excited because of the. I don't know. I'm not feeling the moments between Courtney and Cameron. I don't really care for him. I never really shipped that. I don't care.
I ship Courtney.
So seeing that, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, I don't really care for it, but it's like I know that's not going to go well. We know where it's heading. That he's going to find out, and that she's like he's going to be like, oh, like she's gonna, like if Cindy's going to be like, oh yeah, like your grandparents died and your father died is because of
JSA.
Of the JSA and Stargirl or whatever, and he's gonna find out it's Courtney. He's gonna go after Courtney, or I don't know, something like that's gonna happen. I'm wondering if, and sometime soon, we're gonna get Starman come in, and like there's a moment Courtney's being pinned up, like maybe in the next episode when she's fighting Cindy in the next episode, she's gonna get pinned up. Maybe Starman walks in, the staff goes to him, and he ends up taking out Courtney. Something like that's gonna happen, where it's gonna be a big introduction. Oh my God, Starman's alive. Is the staff gonna stay with Courtney, or is it gonna go back to Starman or Sylvester? You know what I mean? It's gonna be a moment, like a big episode where, like, oh my God, he's gonna make a big entrance.
Well, we know,
and then it's gonna be like, oh, what's the staff gonna choose?
Well, I think a couple of JSA members should. I think
the only ones that are still alive, maybe, are
Dr. Midnight.
Which is, his name is, what's his real name?
I don't know.
It's,
something McNider.
Charles McNider. Yeah, Charles McNider.
And Sylvester.
And then Sylvester. A part of me still has a hard time believing Sylvester's alive. I think the only one's is McNider.
There's like,
maybe.
I feel like there's 3 or 4 that are still alive.
I don't think so.
I think, obviously,
I think the
Dr. Midnight's alive, obviously.
Okay.
Starman's alive.
You think so? You don't think that's a fake guy, a fake person? I don't know, man. I'm still being optimistic. That could be a bad guy pretending to be a good guy.
I think
I don't know.
I can't remember his name, but he was like the owner of the Thunderbolt. I don't remember his name.
Oh, you think what's his name? I forget the dude's name. It's not Johnny Rock. He has a name Johnny
Thunder.
Rock. Johnny Thunder.
Then Thunder. Because Mike remember.
What was his name, like Johnny Rocket?
I don't know.
Or something like that, or Johnny. I don't know.
So,
but yeah, Johnny Thunder. Johnny
Thunder, and then Wildcat.
I don't think Wildcat's still alive. He died outside. I remember he got thrown out. He's dead. I think he's dead. I think the possible people are alive are Charles McNider, Dr. Midnight, and I think it might be Sylvester. I'm still being optimistic. That could be like a total.
What's his last name?
180, and it could be a bad guy.
What's his last name?
Sylvester Pendleton.
Okay. I can't remember his last name.
Also, I think that's a good theory you have with Johnny. Maybe being. I don't think so though. I think probably not. I think the only one that could be alive is Dr. Midnight. I don't want too many people coming back. I want that to be like, oh, like that was a big moment, like, oh my God, like, because that built the story of these next generation of heroes coming to be. So I feel like if we start bringing them back, it's like, okay, this is not making sense. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be cool if Sylvester was alive and he realizes, oh, like the staff needs to be with you. This is like, you know what I mean? The staff picked a worthy successor to me. I'm gonna go off in the sunset while you do this. I feel like that there could be a moment like that. Like the staff chose you for a reason.
The reason why I think that Johnny Thunder and Wildcat are still alive, because my gut's telling me that.
Well, I'm telling you, Wildcat's not alive.
My gut's telling me that Wildcat and Johnny Thunder are alive.
We saw that dude die.
I feel like if Johnny Thunder is alive still, the Penn's gonna leave Jakeem and go
I don't think so. They're really building up Jakeem, and Jakeem is like the main person after Johnny, like throughout the comics. I think that what I've heard that has that pen. I don't think they're gonna like take that away from the character that it goes at, like from Johnny to Jakeem, and we're just getting started with Jakeem. I don't think they're gonna like make the pen go back. All I know is that it's very interesting to see what's going to happen going forward. I know, my theory is, my predictions, we're going to have a big moment when Starman comes back in. Either Courtney's being, like, beaten by Cindy or something's happening. Then maybe the staff goes across the room, and then maybe he's able to call it, like, Thor's hammer and grab it and then, like, blast whoever out. And then there's going to be a big moment where he's like, when, like, she looks at me and he says something, like a cheesy pun, or he's just standing there, and it cuts away into the next episode or whatever. And it's a big moment, like, oh my god, like, is the staff going to stay with me, or is it going to go with him, or there's going to be a moment like that. There's going to be, like, an episode. I'm just excited to see, even if it's not Starman, but like, they're going to think it's Starman at first. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen with that. And I'm excited to see, since they can't, since the, Cameron's grandmother, like, threatened Cindy, and she's not going to go after Cameron, she's going after Mike. And that is the question of, we've seen Eclipso take over people. Is Eclipso going to take over Mike?
The thing is, Cindy doesn't take over, isn't going to,
But remember, Cindy thinks she's in control of the Eclipso diamond.
She said, I'm going to, first I'm after your family, then I'm after you. So she's going to try and hurt or kill Mike.
That one scene, she, like, threw Pat into, like, into Stripe C. Into Stripe. Like, she, like, threw Pat into Stripe. And, like, there was a moment where, like, she also, like, went after, I don't know if it's, like, a cut back to today's episode, but she's going after, Rick and all of them. Because you saw that episode where, like, Yolanda, I think that was today's episode, but they're just, like, trying to force out, like, I'm going after everybody you care about. I just don't think...
She threw him into the robot?
Yeah, she threw him into Stripe. He did the spin move and, like, hit his face off the freaking thing. No, that's Stripe. Him himself isn't. They're kind of one and the same, but, like, Stripe is the bot. That's the name of the bot. It's Stripe. So, I'm just thinking, I don't see Mike just wanting to go, but I could see Mike how, I don't know if, like, even when Pat said, oh, we can find a project, I feel like he's just saying that just to be, like...
Closer to Mike?
He's just saying that. He's not really wanting to get close to Mike or feeling where Mike's coming from. I feel like he's just saying that just so Mike will be closer and, like, and Mike will stay out of trouble. And he'll be like, oh, we're going to build something, but we're actually not. I just want to keep you out of trouble and make sure you're not getting involved. I have a feeling either he's going to go on his own or he's going to get taken over. I don't see him going on his own, though. But I can tell he's very distant from Pat. Like, they're not as close as they once were. I can tell that he's getting sick of this crap. I could tell he's getting there, and I feel like maybe that could be an easy take. Because remember, it's really easy when Eclipso takes over people. It's just easy. He's just doing it. So I feel like he could easily take over Mike, and it's gonna be. And I don't want Mike going to a you know what I mean, like a psychiatric facility after he gets taken over, because that takes clearly it looks like Eclipso, like, takes the light out of people and just leaves them in darkness. I don't want that happening to Mike. Mike's already in darkness. He feels sad. He feels alone. And I have a feeling that would suck if he dies this season. I don't think they'll kill off Mike, but wouldn't that be a big... That would really show they're not afraid to kill off people on this show. I mean, I do want there to always be stakes in the show. I don't want people just being like no one ever, like, bites the dust. I mean, there always has to be, like, sacrifices in the story to make it, like, to really feel like, okay, this ain't no Arrow where, like, people live all the time or people do whatever. This isn't and come back to life and things. This isn't a Flash where no one ever dies, or, like, oh, no one's ever, or people are villains and then they end up not being villains anymore. This is, like, the show everybody loves because there's stakes in the show. And I want that to always be a presence, because Henry died in the first season. That was a big holy crap moment. I did not know they were going to do something like that. That was the defining moment where I realized this show is not like any other CW show. This show means business, and this show is not afraid to take risks and not afraid to do things. I know you're tired, Annie. I'm sorry. I'll let you talk so that way you can... Because when I'm not talking, I get really tired too, but you can go. So what did you like about today's episode, really?
Just, like...
Because there's a lot going on,
just
for sure.
The whole Cameron thing was my favorite. I guess.
Him drawing her, and it hits his muse and stuff.
Yeah.
Same as how kind of, like, Jordan had a muse, which was, Cameron's mother. Like, that was his... Like, that was the person he loved and stuff. And I don't know. I just have a feeling... I have a feeling maybe he'll go after Stargirl, but when he finds out it's Courtney, he's gonna be like, what am I doing? What have I done? You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna, like, want to maybe run away. I don't feel like he's gonna want to, like, kill her, but that moment when, like, he was about to, like, I think he was about to kill Cindy in that art room, he got really dark really quick. I'm like, oh my god, I feel your threat level, dude. If he might be worse than his father, if I'm being honest. He looked angry. I'm seeing that we're really. If anything, next generation of like kids of these of the JSA.
So you think he's worse?
Or the Injustice, yeah.
You think he's worse than you were in?
Oh, I think so because this next generation of the Injustice Society of their kids are all they feel like they're 10 times more damaged.
Okay, so if Jay comes back, where do you think she's gonna go to?
Oh, JSA. That's a no-brainer. Of course she's going there. And I think Courtney and Jade are gonna be the ones that defeat Eclipso with their light. From the light of the Green Lantern ring and the light of staff. There's no way Eclipso. Remember, we realized that you know how she's the Lantern Core. Okay, she powers up the ring herself. She doesn't need the core like her dad once did. Okay. Which her dad's name was Alan Scott? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alan Scott? Yeah. So she is the Lantern. So the Lanterns...
I don't think it was Alan Scott. Look it up.
Oh, yeah, you can look it up if you want. But, yeah. The Lantern's her now. She doesn't need it anymore because she is the Lantern. She powers up the ring. Because remember, Pat asked in the last episode when you, that's weird because, your father needed the Lantern. That's all I knew about the ring, but it seems like you don't need it. So that's why I'm like, I think they're both going to beat Eclipso with their light. I feel like that's what they're trying to tell us. It's light versus dark, but there's a reason Courtney wasn't able to get whammied, and I feel like that's the reason because she's so focused. She is the light, and it's going to be hard to really dim out that light. And that's why the staff, I feel like, chose her too. It saw the light within her. Same as how it saw the light within.
You're right. It's Alan Scott.
Okay, sick. Same as how same as how the staff chose. So Esther because it saw the light within him. I feel like there's more to that, and I feel like they're really trying to show us the light versus the dark. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they're gonna go with this. I'm excited to see if Mike will he go willingly or will he get turned. Yeah. I think he's gonna get turned. I just don't see him getting I just don't see that. If he knows they're bad, why would he just go? There has to be a reason. There has to be maybe the secret they're keeping is what makes him want to go. It has to be a big secret.
Other than that, it was a good episode.
You liked it?
You?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I can't wait for the next episode, especially because we'll get to see a rematch between Cindy and Courtney, and that's the moment where Courtney finally knows that Cindy's alive. So I'm excited.
Well, she kind of knew.
She didn't know. She didn't know until the next episode. She didn't know because remember Rick said, "Oh, the dish probably fell on Cindy when the dish caved in." So I don't know why they ruled out that Cindy probably wasn't alive. I mean, who else would want to be doing terror around town? You didn't find the body of Cindy. I would have thought right away Cindy's doing this. We got to go find Cindy or we got to do something. But I mean, I understand that it was a viable. She probably was in there when the dish caved in. She's not showing her face. It probably is not Cindy. Okay, well, it might have been Shade, but you know.
Henry's not dead either, so.
That's true. I don't think Henry's dead. So. I don't know. Part of me thinks he is, but the part of me's like, if you don't see a body, who knows? They can always bring him back. It's plausible, but I kind of hope they don't, because that was such a defining moment.
Will come back if it's in a cool way.
Well, I know, but it's such a defining moment, and that's what showed me that they're not afraid to kill people. But if they bring him back, it's kind of it would kind of take, because that was such a big moment. I cried. And that was a moment I didn't think I was going to cry for, because I didn't really like that character, but I cried. I was like, damn, that was a sad moment. And it really showed Courtney that this isn't a joke. People die.
Did we watch the episode together?
Huh?
Did we watch the episode together?
No. I binged this before you got on it. I finished the season before you started.
No, we watched it.
No, I remember because I watched it with you, but I already watched it because I remember I watched a whole bunch of it before you started. I don't know if you watched it as I was watching it or you watched it after I was watching it. I think you watched it after because I remember it didn't get on CW until this year. It was always on the DC app, and I watched it from there. And you watched it from when it got on, something you started watching it. I forget what you started watching it on.
It came on the CW app and the
CW app? Yeah, and then you started watching.
After.
Yeah, but, okay, guys, that was a review for episode 5 of Stargirl. I really want to know down in the comments below what your theories are going forward, what you guys thought about today's episode. That was, again...
Sorry for yawning, I'm just really tired.
Yeah, she's tired. I'm a little tired because, I had a long day at work.
And I'm working out a lot. So
because Shang-Chi is killing it in the box office right now. It has it made 90 million so far.
Holy crap.
Since Thursday. It made 90 million. And it broke the Labor Day that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, it broke the Labor Day record for most highest grossing movie on Labor Day. So it made 90 million, and people thought that was the underdog movie, and I knew it was going to be successful.
What was it before? What was the movie before?
What do you mean?
What was the loading movie before?
I have no clue. I think it was Kingsman was up there and some other movies, but yeah, that broke the record. It's still going strong. I'm seeing it again tomorrow in Dolby for the first time. So also tomorrow, as you guys for some people that do know that have been on here on this channel before, tomorrow's Riverdale at 8 o'clock. So again, if you're Riverdale fans, stay tuned. For Thursday is going to be the PlayStation conference about future games that are going to be happening. I want to do a live stream on Thursday, along with also on Thursday at around 8 in the morning Eastern time. The full trailer of Matrix 4 will be released, and I'm going to be doing a reaction to that trailer. On top of on Friday, I can't remember. Oh, Friday is season 6 of Lucifer, so that will be up. I will be doing a part 2 video of season 6 for you guys for Lucifer. So stay tuned for that, because we already got part 1 this year already, but we're getting part 2 this Friday. So stay tuned for that. There's just big things coming to the channel, guys. You don't want to miss it. I really want to know, again, we both want to know what you guys thought about today's episode, and where you guys think that the stories are going to progress going forward, and how do you think the season's going to end. Let me know what you guys thought about my speculations and my theories going forward. I think they're pretty good, but I really want to know what you guys what you guys think about them. Also, we're trying to get I'm trying to figure out how to get her a mic, because it turns out I let you guys know earlier about the whole mic situation. It turns out my iPad is not capable of running 2 microphones. It's because of the hardware in the iPad that we film on, and it's a big bummer. I'm gonna have to buy a camera at some point, which sucks because I don't know how I'm gonna have to take extra shifts or something. I'm not sure, but I gotta figure something out, because I really want to I want both of us to have microphones. I already have a mic, but she needs one, so I'm gonna have to probably buy a camera. But guys, I really want to know what you guys thought about today's episode. But yeah, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of this family. We would love to have you guys here. But without further ado, we're gonna end this video here. We hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.